Thank you for tuning into TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is a Monday. So we're going to talk about some reflection time, okay? So this morning, when I woke up, one of the things that came to me was a memory that I had with a conversation that I had with one of my family members, and this was years ago, okay, years ago. And I remember talking to them, and they were really upset because um, they had did some things for someone that they felt were unappreciated and pretty much went unnoticed, and that it wasn't any point to them doing it. And I remember telling them or asking them rather, like, why did you do it? Did you do like at the time that you did these things for this person, did you do it out of love? And they said, yes. I said, did you expect anything in return? They said, no. I said, then that's what you leave it. But there's no but. Okay. At this point, there's no but. That's where you leave it. Because it's when we try to go beyond that and we sit back and the ego gets in play and takes place and starts telling us, well, they should have did this, they should have did that, they should have did this. It's not about them. It's about what you did. Okay. And the reason that I said sowing seeds in the title is because sometimes that's all we're doing. Sometimes our actions are sowing seeds for somebody else to approve or for somebody else to use, whether it's something that current in their life or whether it's something further down the line. It's something that they need in their life that we are planting that seed for. Okay, so whether you believe in God, Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, whatever the name is, spirit source, that energy is actually working through us at that time to help that person that we're dealing with. So sometimes it's not about what they could have, should have, maybe thought about doing. It's what you needed to do for that person. It's the seeds that you needed to plant in that person. So I'm going to give you another example. And this is one you may have heard before because I think I mentioned it in one of the other videos before. But this was something that happened with me. So I'm driving down the street, one of the main streets here in Michigan. I'm driving down the road and I see this police vehicle up ahead. And I get that nudge to just tell them thank you. Now, me, I don't have a problem saying thank you to the police officers, soldiers, firefighters, things like that, because they put their life on the line every single day. And especially when it comes to police officers, they see the worst of humanity every single day. And then because you have those bad apples, because you have those ones that have the corruption or the racism and things like that, that's what gets blown out in the media and what people see every day, and not realizing like this is what these people go through and deal with every single day. So you may be dealing with that as a police officer, dealing with those racist cops that you work with, in addition to what you got to deal with these people on the street that's acting crazy and wondering if your life is going to be in jeopardy when you pull up to just something like as simple as a traffic stop. Okay. So you're talking about a group of individuals who see, again, the worst of humanity. Okay. So I see the car and it's like, okay, well, say thank you to them. I said, okay, I have no problem with doing that. So I pull, as I'm pulling up, I can see this is a young, white, blue eyed, blonde hair man. Okay. I'm like, okay, I see where y'all going with this. So I rolled down the window, tooted the horn, and he rolled down the window and he had to get his face right because at first it was like, and he's like, yes. And I told him, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for all you do. That's all. And when I tell you this man lit up and he was so happy, he's like, oh, no problem. He's like, okay. He's like, well, because Thanksgiving was coming up. He's like, you got any plans for the holiday? I'm like, well, yeah, just, family get together. That's all. I said, well, what about you? He said, yeah, this is my first Thanksgiving off in like 5 years. I'm so excited. We about to have a big cookout. We frying a turkey. Like, he's so excited telling me about what the plans are for him and his family. I was like, well, that sounds good. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you got that time off. You deserve it. And he's like, yeah, and I can't wait. We're going to be around all the family and everything. He's like, it's going to be awesome. I said, well, congratulations. I'm happy for you. I hope you enjoy and you have a good time. He's like, yeah. And he was sitting there. He's like, this is a long light. So, like I said, I could just see him light up, okay? Just from me just saying thank you. That's it. This man didn't do anything for me other than show up to his job. And I just said thank you. And the reason that I know they had me do that, and one, is to share the story with you guys, because this is what I do. In addition, he's going to go and share that story as well. I'll guarantee it. He at least told his wife, I know it. But the point of it was, as far as the sowing the seeds is, remember, going back to what I said, Police see the worst of humanity every single day. And because I am from the Black culture, everybody sees some of the worst of my people every single day. Every day. This is the image that they're implanting and putting and programming people to see. So by me saying thank you to that officer, it not only gave him a different image of Black folks, to take with him when he goes on that job. So next time he has an encounter, he will remember, like, not all of us are what you depict or what you see on the media or on social media or TV and stuff like that. In addition to that, it made him feel good, made him feel appreciated. Like somebody notices what you do. Okay. Like, again, they deal with the worst of people. So not only did it do something for him as far as my people go, but also for people in general. Like, not all of us are bad. Not all of us are going to come to you complaining. Not all of us are going to be the headache for your day. Okay. Sometimes you just get those people who just want to say, hey, thank you. And that's it. And so those were the seeds that I planted in him at that time. And even as you're listening to this story, it's seeds being planted in you from what I just said about the story to get you to look at things in a different way. And sometimes that's what happens, because I even notice in conversations that I have with people, I go out with friends and things like that, and I can tell they're not always, or I shouldn't say I'm not always there to conversate with them. Sometimes it's just my presence that they want to be in, because they sit back and they talk, 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 talk. And they may ask me something and then I go to answer it, and then they turn everything right back on them and about what they want to do, or interrupt me, cut me off, whatever. And I used to get mad about it, but at the end of the day, it's no point. That's not my purpose for being there. And as they're talking, sometimes I get this nudge, like I did to say thank you to the officer. I'll get this nudge to say something. And when I say it, I can see the wheels turning in their head. I can see how it's changing their thought process and where they're going through that little shift. And that's how I know that was a seed that I needed to plant in them. Okay. And I shouldn't say that I need to plant, because I'm being used at that time. Okay. God's source, whatever you want to call it, is using me at that time to plant that seed in that person so that they can go through a shift and change their thought process or ideology, whatever it is that they have going on. And so basically, at the end of the day, the message I want to give to you, and the whole reason for doing this video, is to say sometimes we're just planting seeds. Sometimes somebody is planting seeds in you. Okay. So just be open to it. Just be open to the change of it. Just pay attention to. Pay attention. Pay attention to the change in you and how you feel when you say those words, and how the person that you're speaking to, how it affects them. You can see it in them. Like I said, you can see the wheels change, and you can see them think or take a pause or sometimes. Okay. So it's a reason for it. And sometimes our actions are not for us. And if you do something out of love, you do something for somebody because you care about that person, then let that be the reason. Let that be where it ends. Don't think about what they did for you or what they would do for you or anything like that. Just do it because it's in your heart to do. It's in your nature to do. And don't expect anything in return, because everybody isn't going to love you the way you love them. They're not going to do for you the way you do for them. They're not going to care about you the way you care for them. But it's not about them at that point. It's about what you do for that person and how you feel. If it's something you can walk away from and not feel bad about not helping somebody when you could, then go ahead and do it. If you can feel good about that and still going about your day, then go right ahead on do it. But if you decide to do something for somebody, don't worry about what they're going to do for you in the end. Don't worry about whether they're going to be there for you in the end, because the source, God's source, in whatever you want to call that energy, you worked for them at that moment. And that's who's going to be the one that returns that favor to you. Not the person you dealing with, not the person you helping. Source is going to be the one. God, source, Allah, whatever. That's going to be the one that's going to return that favor to you. And that favor that they return to you is going to be better than anything any human could give you. Okay? So, but that's the message for today. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Because if you got something out of it, chances are someone else did as well. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.